Hello, my name is Michael. I'm CEO and co-founder of Evo.Do. We use bots for QA automation that requires no scripting and no maintenance. And in this video, we'll go over our dashboard, where you can monitor your tests, check on your projects, etc. So here you can see us logged in to our demo user, or Evo bot. Let's go into one of the projects that we run here, or in the Blind Forest. It's a beautiful platformer. The first screen that you see is the results of the past few builds that were submitted to the system. There's the version number, the timestamp, and most importantly, a summary of the number of tests that were run, that passed, failed, and were retrained. We'll go into what retrain means in a couple of minutes. So just to see what do I mean by tests, we go into one of the builds, and let's take the collect experience orb example. And we see this is a successful test. We're going to be collecting a yellow orb of experience in this game. Uh, you see that the movement that our bot generates is kind of piecewise. It's not completely optimal, but it's pretty fast to complete the mission. The goal here was to make sure that the orb indeed loads in its spot, that there is a path from the starting position to the orb, that this area is not blocked, etc. And we've succeeded in the mission. Great. So another example, another test that we run is killing a monster. So that tests the damage system. Basically, we'll see in a second the enemy on the right, the jumper, and our bot is going to be fighting it. And again, the goal is not to make it perfect, right? So we take some damage in the fight. It doesn't really matter. Our goal is to make sure that the enemy can be killed. So how do these tests how are they generated? How are they defined? Okay, so let's go into the mission list, into the mission view, and let's go into the collect experience orb that we've just seen an example of it succeeding. So this one line that you see here is the only thing that you need in order to define and generate the test of Ori collecting the orb. Okay, there's an event that happens when there is an experience orb picked up. We wanted this flag to be true. One, that's it. The bot finds a way on its own how to make that happen. Let's go and try to define a new test, a new mission. That's how we call them. So you can see how this actually works. So let's call it demo 1, whatever. So there are two main things. First, we need to decide at which point the test starts. So these are different parts of the game, different levels. And we need to define which conditions our bot is looking for. So this is a long list of all the internal parameters of the game, right? So these are objects, and let's, for example, see there's a damage receiver for different enemies. There's Ori itself. There's its position, etc. Okay, so most tests can be defined via one or maybe two parameters that need to be something. Okay, so let's say we do a damage receiver, and it can be equal to something, to any number, or it can be greater, not equal, etc. And this is how you communicate the goal of the test to our bot. So let's go back and see what happens when there was a change in the code and there was a new build uploaded. And something changed. So we go here, we see that two tasks were passed. So that means that the same sequence of actions that worked in the previous build worked in this new build as well. But one is yellow. So the bot retrained in this test. So let's see what happened here when our bot tried to collect the experience orb. So right off the bat, you see in the video that the position of the orb changed. Okay, so if you would try to script the test, which would be just go right, and go left, the test would fail, right? Because the orb is not here where it used to be. Now it was collected in its new place. Uh, so this is an example where the bot initially tries to recreate what worked in the previous build, fails, and then tries to learn again, okay, to complete the mission. And as you see here, that is not a bug. The orb actually works well. The only difference is its position, which is a design change and should not be flagged as a bug. So let's go and see another example. In the next build, there was a refactor of the attack system of the damage for the enemies, and we see a red line. So the test failed. That means that not only did the previous sequence of actions did not work, but our bot failed to create a new pattern. And in this case, you will see the same actions that usually worked, that usually completed the mission. The bot tries to do the same, but fails. Okay, you see here that the enemy wasn't even damaged, actually, despite Ori pressing the attack button. Because that is the bug, okay? There was something wrong with the damage system after the refactor. So this is it in very briefly. And of course, feel free to reach out directly with any questions. Thanks a lot.